Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to the Dice Tower. Today I'm going to do 43 games in X minutes. We'll find out by the end of this video. This is me giving quick summaries and thoughts on a whole pile of different games. Most of the time when I do this, I'm also talking about the games in other ways, other reviews, maybe a big full feature review or one of my shorter reviews. But either way, they'll probably get talked again. Maybe. We'll see. But either way, here we go in alphabetical order. Let's start. First, we have Agueda, City of Umbrellas. This is based on a gorgeous market, the Umbrella Project in Portugal. And I found this to be a fun, interesting little game where you're really great components, a nice introductory game for a lot of people as these little umbrellas and putting them out in order. I don't think it's going to start the world on fire, but it's a nice, fun game, 7 out of 10. Amalfi Renaissance. Man, this company is on fire. I'm really impressed with this game, where you're sending ships. Your ships are both your workers in this game, but they're also your resources. And that's a really cool idea. This is one I want to keep going back to over and over again, an 8.5. Biohack, well, from the same company who made Amalfi Renaissance. Like I said, great company. This one's an 8 out of 10. Very enjoyable game in which you are a mad scientist making bio creatures and things like that. That's kind of fun, but it's a neat worker placement game where when I put workers in a spot, and you put workers in a spot, it increases both of them, but only to the first person who does it. Neat idea, good solid game. Caution signs. This is a party game in which you are building caution signs and then drawing pictures as fast as you can and then guessing who does each picture. Who drew the wandering yeti and the upset lion. So 7 out of 10. Charcuterie. I really like this one too. Another introductory game based on charcuterie boards, which is one of my favorite themes. Food, yeah. Gorgeous looking game. It's an I split you choose where you break things up in the group and then they score in various ways after everyone picks one. A very enjoyable, fun, like I said, easy to get into game, 7.5. Chess Stack. This is a little game in which your pieces can morph. You can combine pieces, combine powers. A pawn mixed with a queen. That's not very useful, but a knight queen, pretty powerful. In fact, it's a little broken. There's some interesting ideas here, but it's too broken. The knight queen is just crazy powerful. 5 out of 10. Classified. This is a little party game in which you're using markers to color out different parts of a number to make a word. Remember when you turned the phone upside down and said, look what this word says? That's what this party game is. It uses a weird kind of 50s, Cold War type theme with some unusual art. And I think it's kind of a one-trick pony. It's a decent game. I just don't know how many times I would play it. 6 out of 10. Compile, main 1. This is a back-and-forth two-player game with a smash-up where you're just trying to outthink the other person, play cards. There's some interesting ideas there, but at the end, it feels like it's a cool idea, but not a particularly good game. It's okay. 6 out of 10. Contra Banter. This is a game in which you are trying to pass words through stories to other people. I'm answering your questions and I'm trying to slip some words in. Yes, somebody can break the game, but I think it's fun enough that a lot of people are going to get into this party game. A 7 out of 10. Dino Gardens. This is a terrible game. It's a game where you have a bunch of dino gardeners. But in this game, when you fight somebody, you roll a 10-sided die 3 times and add them together. Then add your modifier of +1. They roll the 10-sided die 3 times because there's only one 10-sided die and add their modifier of +2. Who will win? Who cares? It's not good. 3 out of 10. Draft and write records. There's a lot of these Smurf and Write games out there now where you're rolling or flipping cards. But I like this one. It's a fun theme as you're building a rock band and putting it together. 7 out of 10. Dreamcatcher. This is a party game which I would like more your feeling cards, but you can barely feel them. And even if you could feel them, giving clues for it, it's just too difficult of a party game. It doesn't work. 4 out of 10. Dribble. This is a dexterity game that's very much like Shoot the Moon. You know that game where you pull the bars apart and you roll the ball towards you? This, though, you have turning dials that look like a meat grinder moving the ball on them. That's an interesting game. 7 out of 10. Druids. This is a very boring-looking game from Rio Grande, which is very boring. It just goes on and on and on and on in this game as you move your Druids around, trying to accomplish goals. Kind of think if you took Takinoko but made it more complicated and more boring. I don't like it. 5 out of 10. Flashback Lucy. This is a game, this is in the Flashback series, and I like the Flashback series a lot for kids. This deals with some pretty hefty themes in it, actually. I was surprised at how dark it was, but it still has some interesting ideas in it, and I still think it works. You as a parent want to be there and look through the game before you let your kid play it. It's not as good as the first Flashback because when you go through the campaign in the first one, you can go back through again with new stuff. This one didn't have quite the same thing, a 7 out of 10. Flock Together. This is a cooperative game where you're a bunch of little chickens growing up to be, well, you're chicks growing up to be chickens and fighting off evil villains. It's kind of almost like a boss battler sort of cooperative game. There's just a few too many things. It's just a little too long. Amazing artwork, good production. I think a lot of people are going to like it. For me, it was just shy, 6.5. Galactic Renaissance. This is from Matago and sort of is like the sequel to Inish. That's kind of the way it was packaged. It's a space game and you're moving people around and taking actions that affect everybody else. There's a little bit of take that. There's also a little bit of memorizing the cards. The game has a very weird scoring mechanism where you have to get a certain amount of points to win the game, but near the end, I think it's something like you have to get 10 points in one turn, which is kind of difficult, but it's almost like a catch-up mechanism. While John is trying to get those, I'm slowly catching up. There's just a few too many moving things for me to love it, so it is just a 6 out of 10. Give Me the Treasure. This is a kind of a wonky game of splitting treasure. There's a bunch of cards in a deck, a bunch of different things they do, and we're trying to split it, and you take some. It's interesting. I think the complexity isn't worth how simple the game is, so it's just shy, 6.5. Harmonies, very, very popular game. Lots of people are loving Harmonies. But for me, this one just feels like a Zen game. I'm building patterns. I don't normally like pattern building games, but this one I found to be enjoyable. Just build stuff and see what happens. 8 out of 10. Hike. This is a game about a dog sled, building a dog sled and then racing your dog sled. The rules are horrific. The gameplay is interesting, but the first half, or the second half, the actual race, is much, much better than the first half, but the first half isn't that good, so it kind of drags it down a little bit. I want to like it more than I do. I feel like this is a good game with a bad rule set. 6 out of 10. Invincible. Oh, I love this game. It's based on the Invincible cartoon, but even if it doesn't, it is 1/3 Orleans, 1/3 Quacks of Quedlinburg, and 1/3 Marvel United. Games I like a lot. From Dire Wolf, they put tremendous stuff together. This is just a great cooperative game. 9 out of 10. Irritable Vowels. This game is funny because there's a die that moves around the table and rolls on its own and you shout out letters. The moving die is funny, and it's the whole key to the game. Also, it falls off the table, which is a pain. And then the game itself isn't very good. So 5 out of 10, but I did keep the die. I'll use it for something. Kinfire Delve's Scorns Stockade. Kinfire Delve is a game, I liked the original Kinfire. I thought it was a great, big, fun boss battler. Kinfire Delve is a small little game that's 1 to 2 players, although you can play more if you mix multiple sets. But man, do I like this game. Just going through as a solo game, I found it to be a very enjoyable puzzle. You're basically trying to battle your way through this deck, but it does so quickly, using hand of cards. Each of the characters is very different. 8.5. Leviathan Wilds is another boss battler. It's the theme of the day. But this one is kind of done almost Euro style. These big golems, think Shadow of the Colossus. You're jumping from platform to platform, trying to smash gems, using a little bit of a smash-up deck thing. There's some neat ideas in here. 8 out of 10. License to Grill. This is a game where we're putting polyomino things on a grill, and it gets points for theme. I like the food theme. It has some neat ideas, like how you can't put meat on this side of the grill, veggies on this side. Is there room to leave them on your rack? How long do you want to leave them on a rack before they go bad? It's cool stuff. But at the end, it's missing kind of just that extra oomph that gets it anywhere. 6 out of 10. Life in Reterra. This is a game in which you are building a city in the future very positively by placing tiles out. It's billed as a kind of a gateway lifestyle game, but it's more kind of a gamer's style game as players are just playing all these different tiles and building them. There's a few minor problems with the rule book, but overall enjoyable. 7.5. Linx is a game I did not expect to enjoy. It's basically tic-tac-toe mixed with rock, paper, scissors for multiple players. You can play 2 to 4, I think. Small little bundle, but it's cute. It's nice, and I enjoyed it a lot. 7 out of 10. Massive Verse fighting game. I've never played this before, although it's been around for a while. Tried this one out, a duel game back and forth where you're trying to outthink the other person. Kind of does feel like a big giant rock, paper, scissors, playing the right card at the right time. But I'm okay with that, and I like how you have different genres that can mix together. Another 7 out of 10. Morrison Game Factory. I played this with my daughter. This is an escape room style game in which you are going through a board game company and what happened there. What's going on? There's a robot. You're reading at sheets, or a computer. Is the computer sentient? Really great story. The escape room part was good, but the story was fantastic. I like it a lot. 8 out of 10. Mutton Busting. You do stupid stuff as fast as you can before other people do stupid stuff as fast as they can. That's the game. Some people say they love it. I say, nah. 5 out of 10. Ostia. Oh, wow. Again, from the same people who made Amalfi Renaissance. This game, which has taken me a while to get to the table, the idea of having your own little Mancala in front of you with these ships that you're moving around and getting abilities and things to use them with and making some abilities better. Oh, it's so delicious. This is a game, I think, that's better than Concordia. I think it's almost in the same box as Concordia. And I like this one. It's smooth, it's fast, it's fun. It's a game I actually don't have in the Dice Tower library, but I'm going to get a copy of it eventually. Great game, 8.5. Perspectives. This is a game where you'll have these cards and you're solving a puzzle. Here's the thing. You have them in your hand and you can talk about them. That sounds great until you realize you got to do math and stuff. And I really dislike this. There's probably a cool game there in some ways, but I don't want to have you to describe to me that you have a triangle that's 6 inches up and 4 wide, and I'm sitting there multiplying that by my thing in my hand. I didn't find it to be fun at all. Cool box cover, but 5 out of 10. Potato Man. This is a trick-taking game in which the Potato Man can beat the whoever. It's one I used to like a lot more than I do now. It's not as good. I mean, you're trying to play a different trick than everyone else has played. A different suit, than everyone else has played in the trick. It's okay. 6 out of 10. Sirens. This is an abstract strategy game that me and Z took a look at where you're trying to woo the sailors over to you, but it's just abstract strategy, moving pieces. Yeah, I liked it better than I thought, but it wasn't amazing. 6 out of 10. Skyrise. Everyone's loving the new Roxley Skyrise game. It's amazing production for sure. I think it's good. I give it a 7 out of 10. I don't love it as much as everyone else because I feel like the game could be very prone to analysis paralysis, or it also could be, you sit there and it feels a little bit random. So there's those two kind of weird things mishmashing, but it looks good, plays very easily, and a lot of people like it. I think it's fun. I just don't want to play it all the time. 7 out of 10. Solar Titans. I want to give this one a higher score, 5.5. It is a deck building game in which you're building a ship and using your ship to shoot the other person's ship, and it's so fun. But once you start winning, it's hard to come back from that, and some cards are better than others. But man, I love the concept of this one a lot. 5.5. Star Tycoon. Do you want a really, really slow, boring economic game? Star Tycoon has got your back. 5 out of 10. Star Wars Bounty Hunter. Oh, man, I tried to play this one multiple times because I was like, what am I missing? And the answer is I'm not missing an awful lot in this game. It's a drafting game where you're drafting these bounty hunters for points, so there's basically no theme, but it doesn't feel like it's all there. It just feels like you randomly draw cards and hope you win. I didn't like it at all. 4 out of 10. Surf's Up. This is a game in which you are kind of, again, playing cards, trying to outthink other people to get these point cards, but I can't give it a good score. It's not good because the points are so varied. If I work really hard and I win a 3-point card, and then you win a 9-point card, and then the next card that comes out is worth 1 point, it's kind of like, who cares anymore? You're still winning 9-3. Nice artwork, but just wasn't a very good 5 out of 10. That Escalated Quickly is a party game in which you are trying to, you're saying, okay, what's the worst thing to jump out of an you jump out of an airplane and what comes out of your backpack? From worst to best, 1 to 10. It's a good game. It's from the folks who made Exploding Kittens. I gave it a 7.5, just knowing that there's a game out there called Edo, which I think does the whole thing better. But that Escalated Quickly, I think a lot of people will enjoy. The Pirate's Flag. This is a game where you're racing around a track and you roll die and move. What? It's horrible. 2 out of 10. Tightrope, a balancing and blocking game. This is a game in which you stretch rubber bands and put marbles on them. Yeah, it's fine. It's interesting. It's a neat little game you can get on Amazon. You might have to massage the rules a little bit, but a fun little dexterity game. 7 out of 10. And Unrest. This is a weird little asymmetrical game about a rebellion versus an empire, as many of these games often are, and you are trying to, the rebellion's trying to blow things up, and the empire's trying to stop them and figure out where they're going to go by a weird card play from the empire, and the rebels are using special abilities. It's a unique game that I'll talk more about in the full review. But I liked it for now, 7 out of 10. So there you go, folks. Boom. 14 minutes and 50 seconds for 43 games. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time on the Dice Tower. Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Vasel.